Hello. This video contains information for those of us who are trying to improve our Tai Chi or Qigong or whatever structure building and energy building techniques we're using in the art of push hands, sticky hands, Tui Shui, whatever we choose to call it. In order for us to get to higher levels, we really need loose and released shoulders. Most of us, most of the time, we're using our arms to connect with our partners. So we need to be able to issue energy out through our arms into our partner. And if we have a tightness or tension in our shoulders, then the energy is going to get stuck here. And likewise, our partner, if they're good, will be able to feel that we have tension in our shoulders, and they'll be able to use that against us. So that's what this video is about. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you. In this video, I'm going to share with you my top 10 most effective movements that will release and loosen your shoulders. Before we begin with our shoulder releasing and loosening exercises, I'd like to recommend just a few quick warm-ups. So starting with the hands, just rolling the fingers in, rolling the fingers out, rolling the fingers in, rolling the fingers out. Very simple. Most people never take time to warm up their fingers, but it's very useful. Then wrists, just a little bit like this, a little bit like that. Spin them. Since we're using our hands to connect with the world, and we're trying to release and loosen what's here, it's nice to have soft connections with the world. Okay, and two more quick warm-up exercises. Just put your arms out roughly shoulder length, maybe a little bit in front of you, but more or less to your side. And just roll them both so that here my palms are facing you, and now they're facing away. Facing you and facing away. Facing forward, facing backward. And notice that as I'm doing that, I'm flexing and extending. So this is warming up my upper body a little bit. Okay, there's that one. One more. So starting in the same position, but this time their arms are twisting in the opposite direction. It's like I'm twisting a wash rag to get the water out of it. So it's like this, and like this. Notice that as this shoulder goes forward, my head turns this way. And also, because this shoulder is going backward, pulls my head that way. So this is kind of encouraging connection of your upper body, of the neck and the shoulders, the head. Okay, very simple. Okay, the first releasing movement would be simple shoulder rolls. So it's like I'm rolling my shoulders up, back, down, forward. And while I'm doing that, the rest of me is participating. So this is actually another way of encouraging connection, exploring connection. So it's like this gets longer, this gets wider, this gets shorter when I do that. And then the other direction, this gets longer, this gets shorter. So it's like my torso is pushing and pulling my shoulders. Everything is moving together, so they're connected. And the idea isn't to do a lot of them. This is not an exercise. This is a movement exploration. So I'm trying to go slow so I can make it smooth. Okay, the next shoulder releasing exploration is what I call dog shaking power. And you might want to refer back to a lesson I taught on Kwa, which is kind of the folds here between your pelvis and your upper thighs, where you're going like this. So this opens, this closes, this opens, this closes. And what I'm going to do is just let my arms hang. Just do that. So I want to not put any effort into the arms. Just let them flop back and forth. Fairly simple. The faster I go, the more they'll swing. Okay, this next shoulder releasing, loosening movement exploration is what I call a windmill. I'm only going to do half a windmill. So if I do a side view, it's like a pendulum, right? So I'm making a pendulum type movement with my pelvis. And I throw my arm up, and then the shoulder goes down, the elbow, and then the wrist. For most people, they want to kind of do this, but it's this. It's like I'm cracking a whip. A little more kind of a 45 view. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. I'm throwing my arm up there so that I'm not using my shoulder muscle to pull it up there. So I'm just throwing it up there and then release. Of course, you can do the other side as well. Okay, this next shoulder releasing movement, exploration, is similar, but in a little bit different plane. So instead of going forward, we're going sideways. So it requires a little bit of bouncing. So I'm bouncing with my knees, but I'm also bouncing here with my pelvis and my torso. So I'm going to bounce a little bit just to get that feeling. And then what I do is my arms go like this, up, and then the same kind of shoulder, elbow, wrist. So again, I'm trying to throw my arms up there, so I'm not lifting them up with my shoulders. So up and then shoulder, elbow, wrist. Okay, just practice it a while. You'll get the hang of it. It's fun. It feels nice. Okay, this next shoulder releasing movement exploration is very similar to what we just did, this one, but we're going to turn our pelvis. It's like I'm sitting down in a chair on this side, and then I'm going to turn that and sit down on a chair on this side. So it's like this. So up, down, and turn. Up, down, and turn. Up, down, and turn. So it's kind of middle, side, middle, side. So how do the arms fit in? Similar, same thing. Okay, so if I come up, then arms do this. It's a little more complicated, but just watch me. I'll go slow, and you can practice. So center, up, down, but turn. This way you're getting practice with turning and using your arms in a way that's released, loose. Okay, this next movement exploration is in a different plane. It looks fairly simple, but there's a lot going on with it. So all it is it's like you're a balloon and you're going to expand. It's like I'm a little bit kind of like I'm a baseball pitcher and I'm winding up for my pitch. It's a little bit, I'm winding up and then I come up. I'm blowing up like a balloon. And then my tailbone tucks, I'm exaggerating so you can see it, then my shoulders, elbows, wrists. from a front view. My head is like I'm hanging from a string or a chain from the back of my head. I'm kind of feeling these areas of my hands pushing through like a molasses or something thick. And again, a little bit of side view this way. So it's like throwing my arms up so I don't just lift them up. And I help with my pelvis and the rest of me opening up. So it's like they come up and sink like a whip. This particular movement is sort of a qigong-y type thing, but it's very good for releasing the shoulders too. And it's good for overall connection as well. Okay, for this last movement exploration, to release the shoulders, I'm going to be doing it in an inverted position, so like bent way down. But I'm not going to be talking my way through it because it's hard to talk and do it at the same time. One thing that's very important, I'll say before I kind of bend over, is that letting your neck really hang and lengthen in the back is very important. So you'll see it. And I'm going to do several variations. You'll see some are kind of bent over, slapping my legs. Some are like this. Some are like this. Some are like this. I'll go slow so you can just watch and see which one I'm doing. But at all times, I'm trying to let my upper back relax and let my head, your head is very heavy. It's like a bowling ball. So letting the weight of my head just elongate my neck and using your shoulders in an upside down position is different programming for your brain in terms of releasing different movement patterns. So this is a very powerful movement. Okay, here we go. So I just start with just elongating my neck, then my upper torso, then my middle of my back, and then going down. So like this. Okay, so all the way down here. So I'm down here. And then I can gently sort of swing my arms forward and backwards. Move away from the wall. Let my fingers just drag on the floor. Okay. So that uses gravity to help me release my shoulders in a different position, different plane. Great, you made it to the end here. Well, thank you, and enjoy your day. Please practice, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.